It was the 4th century BC. There was a vast kingdom south of the Hindu Kush mountains. Ranges of mountains, rivers, forests and deserts, all part of this great kingdom. The ruling monarch was a king, very, very powerful. He had only one daughter. Beautiful, intelligent, she also had a very keen eye for very good craftsmanship. One day, the king and his daughter were passing through a very dense jungle. They were headed for a hamlet right in the middle of the jungle. Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters and guests. As the retinue of the king, the princess and the soldiers entered the village, the headman of the village, the Thakur, came rushing to welcome them and take them through it. This village was also known for making the best shawls and carpets in the kingdom. The king and the princess went through the village. The weavers hung all the best shawls and carpets, whatever they had which was their best, they hung it outside their houses, hoping to catch the interest of the princess. But the princess, she had seen tapestry from Arabia and Persia, and she was a little disappointed with what she saw here. As they went on, they came upon a small thatched hut, freshly thatched, plastered with cow dung and mud. It had a small courtyard. The door of the hut was open. The weaver was sitting inside on his loom. He seemed completely oblivious to what was going on outside. To everyone's surprise, the princess suddenly ordered, "Stop!" She got down from her palanquin and headed towards the door. The king and the soldiers quickly got off their horses and started following the princess. The Thakur, he tried to stop them. He said, "Don't enter that hut. This fellow is a madman. He's not friendly, he doesn't want to even sell, and he talks nonsense. We all call him Kabir," sarcastically. But the princess would have none of it. She just went ahead. Inside the hut, the weaver got up, seeing the king and the princess entering. He was a well-built man, with a skin the color of copper. His hair was black and his ears and his beard was also like cobra black. The princess thought to herself, there is more to this man than his physical beauty and a very pleasant smile. Just then they heard a buzzing sound. There was a rose tree with magnificent flowers and bees had come attracted to it. But that rose tree had no roots. The princess ran. "Father, this is a pattern woven in a blanket. And look, even the bees are attracted. They think it's real." The king looked around and saw many shawls and blankets all over the place. The king and the princess couldn't stop themselves. They began unfolding all the shawls and blankets. Exquisite scenes were woven into cloth. Black clouds shot with thunder. Sandstorms raged in some, and typhoons blew in some. Fascinated, the king goes up to Kabir and says, "The royal treasury is open for you 24 hours. I will take every piece of cloth that you make. Just name your price and I will buy it." Kabir smiled. "Your Highness, I think you do not know. I do not sell my work. Many traders and rich people have tried to lure me, but I only give my work to people who need them and who cannot afford to buy." The king felt his blood boil. "You cheeky fellow! How dare you? Am I like others? That I have to be banned from buying your work? I only speak the truth, Your Highness, which is in my heart. The king couldn't take it. Is your truth more powerful than my authority? Soldiers, go! Rip every piece of cloth you find into shreds. As Kabir watched, the lightning that he had woven is destroyed to shreds. The flowers, the petals are scattered, and the mountains blasted. There is nothing I can do now. His coolness makes the king even more angry. He tells the soldiers, rip this fellow also to shreds. Just then, the princess goes and stands between the soldiers and Kabir. If you even scratch him, I will burn myself. The king suddenly calms down. He takes off some diamonds and pearl necklace from his neck and says, take this. It will compensate you 1,000 times over. Kabir does not even look at it. When I take the shreds, make it into a blanket again, and when it covers some poor shivering soul, only then will the worth of my craft be worthwhile. The king just cannot hear any of this anymore. He storms out, fuming with anger, and behind him all his people. Left alone, Kabir picks up all the shreds of cloth and begins to darn them. His magical fingers brings trees, flowers, shrubs, everything back to life. The lightning is back in the black clouds, and the sandstorm and the sand dunes repeat endlessly. He's so immersed in his work that he doesn't realize when the sun has set and when someone has come in and brought a lamp for him to do his work. It's only when it becomes early morning that he realizes his surroundings. The princess had come in the night and she has held a lamp for him all night to work. I did not notice that you had come. Just then there is a sound at the door and the king and the soldiers start coming in. The king looks at his daughter. I knew I would find you here. And then he looks at Kabir. The power of your truth has won over the power of my authority. Kabir, you are truly Saint Kabir in your thoughts and words. Saying this, the king turns and walks back to his kingdom. Back to